Hi, welcome to our video on the zero property of multiplication, which just says that usually, right, with the numbers we deal with, anything times 0 gives us 0. And they're showing it here in these two questions and asking for it. So here they say, well, what property is this? It's right here, 6 times 0 is 0. Well, that's the zero property of multiplication. The inverse property of multiplication here, b, well, that's when you have, let's say, a number like 2 and you multiply it by 1 over 2, the inverse of 2. This would give us 1. So the inverse property of multiplication says what two numbers do you have to multiply to get 1. The identity property of multiplication says, well, and this refers to the number 1. 1 times anything like 5 or 6 is just going to equal that number. So the identity property deals with the number 1, and the commutative property of multiplication, one of my favorite properties, just says that 1 times 2 times 3 equals 3 times 2 times 1, and so forth. We can change the orders without changing the product, which is super useful. And number 7 over here got cut off, but it says which equation shows the zero product property, or the zero property of multiplication, and the answer is A, right? Because 9 times 0 needs to equal 0. And look at B, 9 times 0 equals 9. That's true for addition, right? 9 plus 0 is 9, but not multiplication. 9 times 0 is not 1, and 9 times 1 is not 0. And part of the reason why is if you think about inverse operations, if 9 times 1 was 0, that would also mean that 0 divided by 1 would equal 9. And I don't want to say that, right? Because I don't mean 0, nothing divided by 1 gives me 9. And then I could say, well, if that's true, then 10 times 1 could equal 0. Just like 9 times 1 is 0. And that means what? Well, that means 0 times divided by 1 equals 10. And notice that kind of means, well, it does mean, if 0 over 1 is 9 and 0 over 1 is 10, that also means 9 equals 10. And I don't want to deal with a number system where 9 and 10 and really any number are equal to each other. We can keep going with this. So some of these, right, even though this is a multiple choice question, and you look at this and say, well, that's not right. 9 times 1 is not equal to 0. 9 times 1 equals 9. But if it equals 0, if we expanded and thought about this, we get really weird results. Like every number equals each other. All right, I can keep going. I can say, well, 8 times 1, that's got to be 0 too. If that's true, then 0 divided by 1 is 8. So if 0 divided by 1 is 8, and 0 divided by 1 is 10, and 0 divided by 1 is 9, and they're all equal, then 9 and 10 and 8 are all the same thing. And that's not true. We don't want to deal with that. Alright, well, I hope I didn't go off too much there. But I just wanted to point out that every time you create a rule in your number system, you have to deal with the results of it. And we'll get more into those fun results in other videos. Alright, thanks.